We're gonna talk today about introductory anime. And what do I mean by that? Well, if no one's seen an anime before, how do you get them into anime?
You shove them like in front of the TV and tell them like, watch this.
Point being, you don't shove someone in front of the TV and show them like prison school or...
Oh, hell no. Dude, I'm losing friends.
Or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, these are not first animes.
No, they're very out of the norm in what they offer. When you say introductory anime...
So, introductory in the sense that, you know, you could show it to your mom... Or, you know, maybe that one friend that's never watched anime before.
I don't think I have, like, any anime I can show my mom. She's just gonna think it's all weird. Same thing with, like, friends that they think anime is all about, like, Oni-chan.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's why, like, we have a list of anime that aren't that. You know, that don't have that, for a lack of better words... the anime cringe.
Yeah. Where I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know, like a girl goes to touch a guy's hand and he's like, oh, we're gonna touch hands. like that kind of shit.
He's about to cream his pants over a hand touch.
So we've kind of compiled a list here of, I mean, you know, maybe they're not all you can show your mom, but most of them, you know, you can talk about them with, you know, your sporty friend who does, you know, only into sports.
Yeah.
Or your girlfriend if she's never seen anime, or boyfriend.
Someone who doubts what anime is capable of being, other than being weird, I guess.
And you know what? We're gonna start this list off easy. I think the easiest thing to show anybody, well, is a movie, first of all. So really Ghibli movies, you know.
The thing about Ghibli movies is that it's a lot like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Where you can just sit someone down, they'll watch it. It's very short, so they're not having to commit to anything.
Yeah.
And they got very like wholesome stories.
Yeah, that most of them are. And you know, there's Japanese mythology, but that doesn't have to be weird to them. That you know.
I mean, look at Spirited Away.
Yeah.
It did good in America, and it's got its own Japanese, like, cultural things in the movie. Like, you know, spirits and the like. But it was just a good story.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, grab any anime movie. I mean, it doesn't have to be Ghibli. Those are pretty known for being, like, beginner friendly.
I mean, admittedly, I don't watch a lot of like one-off anime movies. It's always tied to something, such as like One Piece or like Dragon Ball.
Well, I've watched a lot, even that aren't Ghibli, and like I've watched most Ghibli, and I've watched like things like Your Name, and
I haven't seen that. But going like without straying away from topic, like I agree, anime movies are a good way to put someone in the mood for anime, and it's not a full commitment.
So yeah, but I also feel like it's kind of cheating to say this, right? Because, you know, the movie is an easy commitment, but let's go into anime that, you know, are actually like TV shows, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off here with, it's not one specific one. The director Watanabe, he does like Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo.
It's top 10.
Carol and Tuesday.
The new one, Lazarus,
yeah.
Which we have to watch that.
Yeah. Out of these, I'd recommend Cowboy Bebop the most to someone who hasn't watched anime. But honestly, any of those would do.
You know what is great about his work is that it's very episodic.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you could start at any episode, but there's an episode out there that you're bound to enjoy because they're all kind of, like I mentioned.
Yeah.
It's not one continuous plot per se. There is a plot moving it forward, like in the background, but every episode kind of felt like its own thing in a lot of ways.
And it's kind of Western in that aspect.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Western shows have that, you know, episodic nature to them.
I mean, dog, it quite literally is about, like, the blues. Like, every episode is, like, a music reference.
Yeah, so...
What can I say?
It's pretty beginner friendly.
Don't show them Space Dandy. That's
the
one work that
okay,
he
yeah,
did
that's the one work he did that
it's
not.
show you
yeah,
that.
you're right. That's not beginner friendly.
No.
So next, we got Parasite.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I would show that to anybody.
It's very, like, if the person you're showing this to, like, sci-fi or even just horror.
You know which movie Parasite reminds me of? And you can show it to a friend that's into this movie, is The Thing.
Yeah, I was just,
You knew exactly what I was talking
I was
about.
already 10 steps ahead.
I was a big fan of Parasite, and when I watched Parasite the Maximum, I didn't even know how old this anime really was.
The manga itself is from the 80s.
Oh yeah. And it's crazy because it's a really influential manga, and I feel like a lot of people only know about like the new anime.
Yeah, and it's so short too.
Yeah, it's an easy watch.
Yeah,
it's got likable characters. It's got like great fight scenes. I kind of forget how it ended in a way, but I do remember not hating the ending.
Well, let's not give away the ending.
Oh no, watch it for yourself.
You know, our next entry is my personal number one pick to show somebody.
Yeah,
is Death Note.
That's the granddaddy.
I have never met a single person that's watched Death Note and been like, "This ain't for me."
Someone.
I mean, there's people out
I
there.
haven't met anyone like that.
But yeah, I haven't. I mean, I showed my mom this anime, and you know, she thought it was a little gruesome, but like, she was interested in the plot.
I've shown my. I have a brother who's not as into anime as me, and he loves Death Note.
Death Note is just a good story. It can I mean, it honestly fits right in with like crime dramas like Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah.
It's literally
like mystery too.
Yeah.
Like what makes Death Note so likable too is that a lot of the time I feel like there is this misconception with people who aren't into anime that it's like fights, like shonen.
Right.
But and Death Note is a shonen by all accounts. But it's a mind game. It's a battle of the minds. And I think that drags people in because it's all about outsmarting people. And there's nothing that gets you more invested into people than seeing them try to outdo each other.
And Death Note gets going real quick.
Oh yeah, like right off of episode 1.
Yeah.
It clicks.
Yep. So, I mean, I'm sure most of you have watched Death Note, so...
It's one of the most popular, man. Majority, I would say.
So we're not going to harp too long about it.
Don't watch the Netflix movie.
So next here we have Attack on Titan. And this was one that, listen, if you were there for it in 2013...
Dude.
Oh my god, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. Dude, the cosplay community was in an uproar. Like, I couldn't go on like... I don't know, without seeing a fucking crowd of people doing like the pose with like the jacket.
The salute.
I'd argue that Attack on Titan, maybe this is a bit of a hot take, was a resurgence in anime. It really got anime moving.
Like back in the like mid early 2000s, like anime was still kind of a nerdy thing to be into.
Oh, completely. I don't.
From what I remember.
I can't really say for certain if that's true. We're just spitballing, but I do kind of agree with you that Attack on Titan kind of laid the groundwork for anime being a little more mainstream. Yeah, completely.
I mean, it's not the only one, right? But around that time period, right, like the early 2010s, I think that's when anime really started to pick up. And Attack on Titan is one of those things. And actually, I have a story here. I had a coworker who was like in his late 50s, maybe early 60s. And, you know, this guy is a redneck, too. He talks about things that I would not associate with anime whatsoever. And one day, I just hear him talking about Attack on Titan, and I'm like, no way that this guy's watched Attack on Titan. And yeah, no, he was obsessed with that show. It was one of his favorite shows, and he doesn't generally like anime, but this show was his show.
He's probably seen King of the Hill. That's an anime. Typically, when I speak to someone who I'm not sure how deep they are into anime, I'll ask them, like, what anime do you like, if you like any? And Attack on Titan seems to always enter the list.
Yeah, that's true. So, Attack on Titan, that's an easy one to show some. And from episode 1, it hooks you. Now, the only thing is it is kind of long now that it's over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if that's a deterrent, I mean, I guess list that as a con. But honestly, it doesn't have bad pacing. It's not that kind of show.
No, and the animation is solid throughout the whole show.
Yeah. Well, there's some CGI shenanigans going on, but other than that, it's pretty good.
These CGI shenanigans, man. When will they learn?
So next we got Tokyo Ghoul, which kind of in the same vein as Parasite.
I'm gonna get some hate in the comments section. I'm sorry ahead of time, man. Personally, I'm not a Tokyo Ghoul guy, but I don't disagree that it isn't an entry-level anime. It's in the same vein as Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I put it with Parasite only because of that like horror-ish vibe that it's got going on.
They have a very similar like
predator
prey
kind of dynamic going on.
I think you said it better than me, but it's the same kind of vibe.
Yeah. Given that, I mean, Tokyo Ghoul is kind of gruesome. Like more so than, I mean, Attack on Titan is too, but but Tokyo Ghoul has like some torture in it and stuff like that.
One thing I'll bring up really quickly about the anime for Tokyo Ghoul, and if you're trying to get someone into anime, it doesn't necessarily matter, but the anime is very different from the manga.
Yeah, that's true. Well, especially for season 2.
If you're trying to get someone into it, that's not gonna matter.
Yeah,
imagine telling them like, "Oh, dude, the manga is so different, though." They're gonna look at you like, "I don't give a fuck."
Overall, though, I think Tokyo Ghoul can manage to grab your attention pretty quickly.
Agreed. When I started it, I was hooked.
A more lighthearted one on this note, right? It's been a lot of serious anime. Spy Family. It's a wholesome anime. It sounds like it's not, but it's about a spy marrying a assassin, and then they adopt a daughter.
Can I be honest? I haven't seen it.
Well, man, hey, get on it.
Oh, you're introducing me to anime.
Oh yeah, dude.
I'm not into anime. Thanks for the suggestion. It has
it's wholesome.
I believe you. It does have the anime cringe that we did talk about, though, at least from what I've seen.
A little bit, but I think overall it's more wholesome than anything. Like, it doesn't have the like fan service cringe.
Yeah.
It doesn't have like the
main character scared of women.
scared of women. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's fairly normal compared to most anime, and I think it was a hit with a lot of people. So I think this is a good one to have on this list, especially one that's not so serious.
It's one I have to start now. So
yeah,
maybe after this.
And then one that came out fairly recently is Vinland Saga.
Oh, cinema. You guys can't see me, but my hands are up. Man, maybe you can get like my avatar holding up his hands somehow. But it's peak, in my opinion.
So peak.
For anyone who hasn't seen Vinland Saga, it's very popular, so I can only imagine like anyone watching this may have seen it. But it's all about European, specifically like England and the Vikings. It's about their culture. So, if you're worried about showing your friend, like, Japanese culture, because their humor is vastly different, and it's still made by a Japanese mangaka, so it's gonna have that kind of vibe to it. But what I like about Vinland Saga is it's based on a real explorer, very exaggerated, mind you.
Yeah, everything in the show is pretty exaggerated.
It's like an epic tale of a, who was a real Viking.
It's like a half historical, like it is technically based on someone, but it's
they take a lot of liberties. But it's a very epic tale, for a lack of better words. There's a lot of adventure, drama too, actually.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it's kind of like a drama series in a way.
Yeah, I mean, season 2, right, is literally, I mean, there's fights, but it's very introspective. It's more psychological than anything.
It's growth, like character growth,
and it's slow. I will warn you right now that if all you're looking for is fights, you're not gonna enjoy season 2 as much.
No, season 2 is a very like character growth moment. That scene towards the end, I had tears in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, you should watch it regardless of whether you are into anime or not, just go watch it.
Mm-hmm. They don't really have anime cringe either.
They don't. I mean, they have.
People are gonna hate us. Like they're like, what the hell do you mean anime cringe? Like, yeah.
Or what are you trying to say about my favorite anime, Cat Planet Cuties? What do you mean it's cringe?
That might be a whole different topic in the future. Like anime cringe,
right?
Explained.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vinland Saga. I think it's highly acclaimed. Ever since I saw it, for a while we were talking about it like nonstop.
So, I mean, that's pretty much all we've got on our list, but we have a bit of a bonus for you. They're kind of honorable mentions. Things that don't exactly follow our criteria for beginner friendly. Like, it might have a little bit of that cringe, or it might have like above average Japanese influence. So, if any of those things just don't fall under what you think that person will like,
if they don't vibe,
if they don't vibe with it, then that's why it's an honorable mention.
Yeah.
The most popular being My Hero.
Well,
it's a shonen for sure.
Oh, completely. But if you have a friend who's into the MCU, I know that sounds stupid, but if they're into superheroes, and it doesn't even have to be the movies, comic books, cartoons, it's a superhero show.
Yeah. This is specifically for that kind of vibe. Because if they don't vibe with that, this is not a beginner anime, in my opinion.
They also have to like the fact that these are like teenagers.
Oh yeah, and actually it does have like that fan service cringe. Which they're like, hey, how old are these characters?
I know, I'm speaking as like in the body of someone who will look at it and be like, yeah, that's cringe.
Yeah, no, I mean, My Hero's good. I just think it may not be for everybody, so that's why it didn't make the official list. Next, I have Dr. Stone, which I honestly think this one's cool, but it's very science related. And if you're that kind of vibe, I think this is a good introductory one. Again, it has that kind of anime cringe.
It does. But you know what? They teach you a lot about stuff that you may not even have cared about before. But then when they tell you like what makes this stuff work, you're actually like, damn, I didn't know that.
Not only that, you might even run into things you work with, like at work. Like I know I have, right? And been like, oh yeah, I know how that works, and then be like, well, I didn't know how that works though.
I was in it for the food, like you mentioned. I won't say too much, but
yeah, Dr. Stone is, I mean, in case you don't know, it's about civilization, like in the future, where everyone's turned to stone, and they have to get it back with like science starting from scratch. But like the main character is like a super genius. He's basically Wikipedia.
Yeah. I could see that being a good introductory anime for some.
For some, yeah. So for those who like sports TV shows, Hajime no Ippo.
Hell yeah.
It's a boxing anime.
It is. It's
it's very grounded.
It is. No, there's really no powers.
Yeah, there's no powers.
There's techniques.
Yeah.
And the techniques, granted, it's an anime, they're going to exaggerate things, but Specter's right. It's grounded, so your friend doesn't have to worry about like, oh, they're just gonna beat each other with powers. Man.
It's not like
laser beams from his fist.
It's not like in Kuroko's basketball where they have superpower. Or like, oh man, he's invisible.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Yeah.
For me, what makes this anime special, and you can show it to anybody who can relate to improving themselves.
You
like
don't even have to like boxing.
No, you don't. You can like the idea of self-improvement if you're like a gym junkie.
Gym bro.
This is all about like guys at a gym training. It's camaraderie too. It's a lot of friendship.
Definitely male oriented.
It is.
And it doesn't have to be, but it is.
It's a bro anime.
I mean, it motivates me to work out whenever I watched it.
I was, at some point, very inspired by it, too. It made me want to take up boxing.
Yeah, I mean, it
I never
looks
did,
so cool, but it looks way cooler than in real life.
I bought, like, boxing wraps, and I never did anything with them. But that's how much of an impact it had, and I feel like showing it to your sports buddy, if they are or aren't into boxing,
or even if they're just into working out,
they'll find something to enjoy about it.
Exactly. So next I have Erased. Erased is about this guy who goes back in time, but like through his kid body. And it's a time travel show. And I think really there's nothing really weird about this show. It's 12 episodes too, so it's like one of the shortest on this list.
Yeah.
It's serious in the way that but not in the way of like, oh, people are constantly dying and people are fighting. It's not serious like that. It's more serious like,
it takes its story seriously.
yeah, it's a grounded series, but with some sci-fi elements.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to get like the sci-fi people involved. You're trying to get movie fans involved. I feel.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of, I mean, Promised Neverland has kind of the same serious vibe, although there is people dying in this show. But
yeah. I think the beginning is very interesting, and without saying too much, you almost could have believed that this was a grounded story.
Yeah, I mean, there's supernatural stuff in it.
Without saying too much,
yeah.
But it is very interesting. It started out that way.
The story takes place in an orphanage, and I can't really give away too much without spoiling it.
I'm trying to think of like a movie or a show that you could relate this to, but
the only reason this wasn't on the official list is, and I don't think either of us have seen past season 1.
No, so granted, we're both going in this only based off of season 1.
Yeah, and we've not heard great things about season 2. So if your only goal is to introduce them to anime, I mean, this could do the trick. But again, it's only an honorable mention. And last on this honorable mentions, we have solo leveling.
I'll let you talk. I have not started solo leveling.
Yeah, it's fairly new. So and there's a big craze around it right now.
Would you say like it's approachable because it's popular at the moment?
That's part of it for sure.
Because I do know some basic stuff about it. It's a shonen.
It's a power fantasy.
It's a power fantasy.
Like, it's not even embarrassed to say that it's a power fantasy. Like, it is. Like, hardcore a power fantasy.
If you have a friend that's into like aura maxing, apparently the main character is very much that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Just find your like Chad friend and show him that.
But you know, another reason that this anime is really good to introduce people to is because the animation is just so good that your friend will be like, well, damn, I want to see more of that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, do you have any other anime to add to this?
No, but you know what? I would love to see in the comment section anyone who has what they think is a good introductory anime.
Yeah, actually, yeah, if anyone has more suggestions, we might make a part 2.
Yeah, there might have been a lot of anime that we've missed that, like, hell, there might even be one that's like, bro, it's basically like real life.
I mean, yeah, we haven't watched every anime out there, guys, so if we missed one, we're sorry.
Yeah, feel free to let us know. But other than that, that's all I got, man.
All right, well.
Get out of here.